Two, one. Welcome back to another episode of Mich&Rich. So, today we got a super special episode.
NANI? Okay.
Mich&Rich. Mich&Rich. Did he do it? And apparently he did not. Because Diddy, I don't know how familiar you are with the case, but he was charged with 5 things. So he had 5 total counts. Transportation of a streetwalker, he had 2 counts in it. Racketeering, which is basically like RICO, creating a criminal enterprise. And then he also had 2 counts of human trafficking. So, unlike most people, I did not think he was going to get charged for anything, actually. I thought he was going to scapegoat this free, and he was going to be a walking man. He did get charged for 2 things. I was probably closer than most people thought, because he got charged for 2 things, and the 2 least things. He got charged for transporting a streetwalker or a worker across state lines. So he got both of those charges found guilty. Everything else he was found innocent. Both of those charges carry a maximum 10-year sentence, so he's still looking at 20 years in jail if he gets the max sentence on both charges.
Yeah, but they said it's not likely he'll get the biggest charge.
Nobody's ever gotten 10 years from that.
But everyone's surprised that he didn't get the 2 biggest charges, right?
Which is crazy to me how people... Are you surprised?
I did think he was going to be guilty on all counts.
That is so...
But at the same time, though, I'm not surprised, because we know that having money.
That's not even it.
That's how everyone feels.
It's
I was looking at some comments.
Here's the reason this happened. Because there were 2 witnesses trying to trying to throw a man in jail for racketeering. Mm-hmm. Okay, you need a little bit more than just 2 people to charge a man for racketeering.
Oh, there wasn't enough witnesses for
not to mention
those charges.
Both of those witnesses were ex-girlfriends.
So it doesn't help.
Now, the biggest fault, the day that I knew that Diddy was going to get let go, at least I thought all the charges, so I was still wrong. I thought all the charges. Wow. But the day that happened was when they were allowed to show the Cassie Ventura video in court. And you might think to yourself, that's backwards. If they're allowed to show that, obviously that should be against him. But no, that leaves an opening for him to admit guilt to what he's saying he's done. So being an abuser is way better than being a racketeer. And so
in the eyes of the law.
That was his basis. I am a bad guy, I beat women, and I feel apologetic for it. But they were all consensual partners. Notice how there's only 2 women who were ex-girlfriends who feel some type of way towards me that came out and spoke out against me. Obviously, they had different guest celebrities come in, Kid Cudi, but they're not going to talk about it. There's no way. That's their career right there. In the industry, it's still kind of taboo to be snitching. So, even if they did snitch, who's the worst story? Kid Cudi, who blew up, he got his car blown up? But how does he prove it? There's no way of proving it. And on top of that...
Didn't they prove it because one of his assistants
said
that?
That's hearsay.
His defense can say that's a fired employee or something.
Disgruntled employee, and he was fired.
It was a woman.
I thought it was the dude security guard.
Well, maybe him too, but...
So that on top of the fact that there are messages from Casey saying, I am ready, I'm always ready for a free call.
Damn. I'm sorry.
And these charges, these specific charges, these transporting streetwalkers across state lines and this human trafficking, guess why these rules were made? Take a wild shot in the dark.
Specifically what laws were made?
The not being allowed to transport
streetwalkers
across state lines.
To prevent human trafficking. Human trafficking.
No, that's not why.
Even if the person is saying that they're willing.
But that's not why.
Okay.
You guys can look this up too. Don't just take my word for it. Go out and search for yourself. The reason these were put in place was because back... So the
MLK was assassinated in 68 or something.
And earlier, so post-slavery, prior to the full, complete civil rights movement, black men were starting to date white women. So what they did was say that white woman obviously would never date a black man. She's a I'm taking you to jail for transporting across state lines.
Oh wow, that's crazy. I never heard of that.
So, and you can all look that up. So you guys are upset, and this is what I hate about society. You guys are more upset, and this shouldn't be a case. You guys are more upset that a guilty man is getting let go than you would be for an innocent man to be jailed. And the way this country works is you are innocent until proven guilty. Me saying you killed somebody, that doesn't prove crap. Me having 1,000 bottles of baby oil, yeah, that's bad press. That don't prove crap.
I don't know. Maybe I think the public perception, at least look at the very legal details of the case or anything. But I feel like the public perception was that there was overwhelming evidence for everything.
Well, where was this evidence?
I don't. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know that for sure. I guess you know what I'm saying. I didn't really look at the. But I feel like I looked at there's a lawyer that reacts to stuff on YouTube. Reacts a lot. And I remember him reacting towards the beginning, and even a lawyer. He was saying like.
Oh, these charges.
Yeah, from his diagnostic of it or whatever is like
illegal. But you can't force people to do shit. And this is what I'm getting at. When you have a lot of money and you have no accountability and you want to do whatever the fuck you want to do whenever the fuck you want to do it, I think you can go a little bonkers.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
I mean, he's complaining to a teenager that you don't really want to hang out with me. Okay, but he didn't do this. Just so you know, he didn't do this. He did not do this. He doesn't have... Oh my God. Look at all that baby oil. He didn't do this. He didn't have all these bottles of baby oil for nothing.
And we'll fight every day until we don't have to fight anymore.
That means when he's out of money.
He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government...
Okay, that's just dumb. He's not afraid of the charges? Wouldn't you be afraid of the charges? Where are you? You're in fucking Rikers Island. You goddamn well better be afraid. They just executed 2 search warrants. They've got obliterated serial numbers on firearms. They've got videos and baby oil. You know, what he needs is somebody to tell him what the truth is. You are f***ed. You are absolutely f***ed. You're going to prison for the good portion of the rest of your life.
It's looking pretty bad for him, you know? So so that was my legal perspective in a sense, like, this looks bad.
Charges.
You were going to be surprised if you got
wouldn't have been surprised.
Oh, right.
I wouldn't have been surprised. But I am shocked that people are shocked.
Right. I'm kind of, I mean...
And
but that's why I said...
You were also a little shocked. You were also a little
Well, I thought he was...
going to go in.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be guilty on everything, but at the same time, this doesn't shock me because just the justice system in general.
The justice system did what it was supposed to. This is the one time where the justice system worked the way it was
That's not the overall feeling.
Yeah, because the justice system is flawed in itself. Like, the actual system...
People felt like this was... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the exact... I don't.
Okay, so let me go through the evidence.
Really know that.
One of the evidence was the freak off tapes. Those are legal consenting adults. Another part of the evidence was he admitted to sleeping with pride. That's what he got charged for. Another one, racketeering. That means his company, Bad Boys, was a criminal organization. Now, that does not mean that he did criminal activities under this organization with the wealth and power of this organization. That means that this company was established. It was going to participate in criminal activities. It was a natural company that ended up helping a bad man commit criminal activities. There is a difference there. You run an illegal gambling place, but you run it in a laundromat. That's a criminal enterprise right there, because the illegal gambling is what the company is about. Now, if you run a laundromat and your boys come in and gamble, that is not a criminal enterprise. Even though that gambling is illegal and it's a crime, That is what the difference here was.
What was the first one? Why is it? Wait, why is it?
So if you have a gambling place that is hidden by a laundromat, that's how you clean your money. That's a criminal enterprise.
Oh, but you're saying the difference there is the consistency of
the reason
the illegal
for the business,
activity.
Yes. The
Okay.
reasoning for the business. Obviously,
So if there's a lot, you're saying if a place has a lot of illegal activity and it's hiding that, then that makes it.
No.
Oh.
I'm saying the reason for the company is what determines if it's a criminal enterprise.
I mean,
a criminal enterprise has to.
They're going to say legally the reason for the thing is a laundromat.
So you can prove or disprove that.
Right.
So in essence, you would have a bunch of witnesses who corroborated the story.
Right. So there has to be a pattern, like a long-standing pattern.
Long-standing pattern.
But just a gambling,
and
like
you won't
but just like
have
a poker,
that.
but a poker night or a poker game every Friday.
That won't leave enough
with
evidence
friends
to
is not
claim
enough.
that's a criminal activity.
That's fair. That's fair.
So you cannot claim that a legitimate company is a criminal organization just because there's one criminal in there. Even if they were making money.
I mean, the owner can make money off of the Friday poker with his friends,
and
but that's not enough. There's not enough traffic there.
That's not racketeering.
Yeah, that's not traffic. Yeah.
So now we have that the streetwalkers. He admitted to that. Racketeering, obviously, you can't prove that a legitimate business. Which think what you want about Diddy. I don't like the guy. I'm not like defending him. He had a legitimate business. His business was not used for a criminal organization. Again,
you're saying that in law they can't prove that he was, in the courtroom they can't prove.
In real life as well. Like, so my opinion is,
you don't think he was using?
Diddy ran a real company, a real successful company, to do criminal activities.
So the testimonies about what people said he was doing and stuff. Do you think they're just lying?
No, I don't think
there's lying. Like plenty of people saying like he was using that company for illegal stuff.
Yes, he personally was using that company for illegal stuff. He did not create the company for illegal purposes.
But you're saying the company can't go down because of him being illegal.
Yes. The only thing I'm saying is it's not racketeering. It's not racketeering. One criminal that works for a legitimate business that is using those legitimate business
and he's not
resources.
The CEO?
There are plenty of other people that are in powerful positions in the company.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's the CEO doesn't mean he can't start a legitimate business.
Okay.
So, again, the only reason I'm saying it's not racketeering isn't because he didn't do a bunch of criminal things. It's because the business wasn't used.
Well, I'm just surprised he didn't get the human trafficking because I've heard so many testimonies of people like saying that. And
they were saying they were dating.
Not just dating, like kidnapped. There was testimony of that. I don't know if it made it to court.
Holmes, remember what I told you? There might be a superseding indictment if more people come forward, and my guess is that there probably are going to be more people coming forward because I don't think there's a whole lot of people mentioned in the indictment. But before you go accuse somebody of something, make sure you got the goods.
The only thing that made it to court were the two witnesses, the Cassie Ventura
and Kid Cudi,
and Jane.
Oh, and Jane yeah.
Doe.
Yeah, there's way more. I heard of way more than that in documentaries.
There were people that came and testified hey, but again, if you are a part of the jury,
that's not conclusive.
You don't know Diddy,
sure,
because they gotta find what's it called, impartial juries. So obviously, even a few of them that know him, who are hiding the fact that they know him, they're hiding the fact that they know him because they like him. You're not going to dislike Diddy.
They might hide the fact that they know him because they want to nail him.
You think so?
Yeah, that's definitely possible.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it more, that's definitely a possibility. I was just thinking people that like Diddy would want to be in the jury.
So you think this jury was just being fair?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like you said, public opinion is that he's doing all that type of stuff,
and
threatening people, threatening their families to be innocent and whatnot.
But he's done it in such a smart way that if the legal system works the way that it was described to work, he can't go to jail.
Right. I mean, mob bosses have gotten off for some of the same. That's why. What was it? John Gotti? They could only get him on tax fraud.
That's why they created.
Even though it's well known, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It was super well known that obviously he did murders and called for murders, but they could only get him on tax fraud.
And who are you going to RICO with Diddy?
There's no drugs really. Oh, well, except for the drugs that they're saying that was used on people.
No, I'm saying who else is going to. So a RICO is like you going after the big guy for what his henchmen did. That's what a RICO is. So which one of his henchmen do we have documented proof of them doing something, and we know they work for Diddy? That's why I was thinking the whole time, what's going on? He's not gonna go to jail for life. Like, we don't know who blew up.
He would have gone to jail if they could have got him on human trafficking. Like
but I knew they weren't.
I thought there was way more human trafficking other than Cassie.
There probably was, but they didn't test.
Right, that's what I mean, though. I thought that's what I'm saying. I wasn't paying attention.
Thought the feds would.
Yeah, I thought they had evidence of because there's, as far as like
still a scary Diddy's still a scary guy, bro. Like, what do you mean? Like, he's still. And here's the thing. Cassie was with him for what, 15, 20 years? No, like 12.
No.
12,
it was
something.
like single digits. I'm pretty sure they were together.
Let me look it up. I don't want.
They're probably together for single digit years.
Because I know he was with
maybe 5 years.
Jennifer Lopez for like 2
months. It was like 2 years.
months.
No, it was 2 years. No, it was 2 years. He was with J-Lo for like a year or two. And that's what other people say too about J-Lo, because like they're pretty sure he was on that same type of stuff when he was with J-Lo. The judge denied him bail though. Yeah, they're going to give him time served.
They might not. They might not give him time served.
That's
what the defendants are asking for.
They might
don't
not.
want to give him time served.
They want to start a new sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Basically, yep.
Yeah, I mean.
And here's the thing. Like, he's probably going to get it anywhere between 6 to 12 years. So if he gets time served, he's been in jail since 2023. It's basically been 3 years. He'll come out of jail in 3 to 9 years.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to try to get home arrest after the first year.
Yeah. And then, the other thing too is even in jail, he'll probably be living still pretty good.
Nah, he was living terrible in jail.
Really?
He was living so bad. Yeah, he had to go to the hospital. So
you think? I mean, is he having to deal with people attacking him?
No, it's just like the jail itself.
It's probably not even that bad. I shouldn't.
That's the wildest thing he's ever said. He said New York jail food probably isn't that bad. That's wild.
It's probably not that big of portions, but I bet it's like for a regular person, it's not.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, it probably.
You think school lunches were good?
No, I was gonna say it probably is similar to school.
No, it's definitely worse. You think they would be giving our youths, our young men? You think they would be giving them the same food they give jailers?
Bombastic side eye, criminal offensive side eye.
I hope not.
I mean, jail people. Yeah.
I hope not. God, I hope not.
I mean, the way I'm saying it is it's government food. I think the only difference between the food you get in jail and the food you get in the army is you get more portions in the army. It's like similar food.
I heard army food was actually pretty good. That's what I've heard. I've heard
that's
also
my point, kind of.
Even in Wheeling, West Virginia, and that was like the best jail of all time.
Stop.
They got TVs.
I think it depends on the jail.
They got free time. They had laptops, not laptops. They had a communal computer that they could use. Bro, what do you mean? That was the best jail.
I don't know anything about it.
Is that even still going on? Because in New Mexico, I knew guys that had 15 DUIs, and he was bragging because he only got caught for 8 of them. What? What the fuck? No, my bad. He was saying he drove drunk 15 times, but only has 8 DUIs.
He sounds kind of like a. Never mind. I couldn't tell you how many times.
Yeah. That's wild.
Or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, there's no way I can tell you how many times I've done it.
It was probably like a bragging moment because they were all talking about DUIs.
And that's another weird thing. It's like, okay,
first
you got a number, and you're. I mean, low key, it could seem like I'm bragging about it right now, but like I'm not. I'm more saying like.
That's weird.
Yeah, like
that's a weird thing.
Like, how do you have a number of how many times you drunk though. Like
golly, judgmental.
yeah, come on, that's the thought process of someone trying to get laid.
But
let me get drunk so I can hit on this drunk chick. At least, but it's ethical though. I'll give you that. At least it's ethical.
I don't sleep with women when I'm drunk. So obviously, if I would have gotten drunk, I wouldn't have been able to sleep with her. Because that's like
that's not obvious. That's not obvious. Not everybody. I don't know that.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't sleep with women when I'm drunk. So that was literally just so I could like talk to her, get her number.
Oh, you just. Oh, so it was just you weren't even trying to like. Okay, you weren't because you weren't trying to have sex with her.
No.
You were just saying because okay that
beautiful.
Because in the public though, it'd be like, yeah, I can't even have sex with this girl unless I'm drunk too. Okay, that's fair. I mean, whiskey dick's a thing.
Nah, it's not even because of that. It's because I have 2 older sisters and was raised by 3 women, and I understand that like in those situations when 2 people are drunk, things can come out differently than how it was. And
yeah, that's a good rule of thumb. Like don't try to sleep with people while you're drunk.
The only fighting chance that you have if a woman falsely accuses you is you both being sober and you being able to recall everything that happened. That's why I don't sleep with any drunk women or sleep with women when I'm drunk. You know, I don't want to like victim blame in this situation, but like in essence, you should always try to keep yourself safe. And since I have 3 women that cared for me,
being falsely accused is a terrible situation. I have family that have been falsely accused. And
you've been falsely accused?
No, I have family.
Oh, okay.
I have family that have been falsely accused. I mean, it's really, 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 really sad, frustrating. All the negative emotions, honestly.
Which is a part of the reason Diddy got away with it. Because
people get falsely accused, or
yes, especially with the whole movement that's been going on. The Me Too movement ended with Johnny Heard and Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial.
Funny.
But that's when it ended. Now it's become, oh, you're a accuser. Now it's become victim blame, essentially. And like that's why I haven't gone into details with like my opinion of Casey, because they're not good opinions of her. And I don't want people to.
What do you think? But the video though.
What?
That video.
Of her getting beat?
Yeah, like that kind of shows the dynamic of the relationship.
No, it shows me she's an idiot.
For staying with him?
Yes. Because it doesn't just go from everything hunky dory. So what?
Are you calling all women that deal with domestic violence and
yes.
That's not cool.
And my
that's
brother
definitely not cool.
and like
you kind of went to the other side there from the whole raised by women thing. But
no, because my sisters have never gotten beat by.
I know.
Beat by men. My mom's never gotten beat by a man.
So, but they just say the average is like it takes after the 7th time or something like that before a woman leaves. Is like the average or whatever.
That's idiotic. And that'll never not. And that's not saying I don't have love, care, and compassion for these women.
You think Stockholm syndrome could definitely be a thing in that.
And I think anybody that has
when you have love for someone
is an idiot.
All right, so I just wanted to get back on here to kind of clarify my thoughts on calling victims of abuse idiots, because I know that's going to come off across insensitive and like frankly just monstrous. So I just wanted to clarify. What I mean by that is I come from a war-torn country where the women were the first to get hurt. So I know firsthand the power that women hold. They rebuilt that country. That country was rebuilt out the backs of all the women in that country. So I understand that you can get yourself into a situation that gets out of your control. But, for example, if my sister called me right now, either one of my sisters called me right now, and there was somebody that they needed murdered, I wouldn't even ask questions. And that's the power that women have. I know for a fact every woman in this planet, there's a man out there that's willing to die for you. So allowing a man to slowly kill you is idiotic, in my personal opinion. And it's not something I'm idiotic. I'm dumb. So I'm not just using that term as like a negative put down. There are so many people out there who are just dumb, who are stupid, and that doesn't mean you're stupid everywhere. You can also be a genius soccer player, but be an idiot in math. So that's all I'm stating. Allowing yourself to be beat down by a man when there are so many men out there willing to protect you, willing to die for you, and willing to kill for you is idiotic. And with that, we'll end the video.